Horror games. It's not just blood and shadows that haunts us. It's the mechanics, the silent builders of dread. They are the hands that we cannot see and shape the fear within us. Have you ever walked down a path that never seems to end? Where every step feels heavier, slower, and strong? Have you ever heard of silence so deep, so unnatural, that it felt like something was listening? Well, my name is Andrew, and this week the Blackthornprod brothers have given me a challenge. A challenge rooted in mystery and silence. Unless you read the title, of course, but anyway, it's a challenge of making a game without communication. I was taking it to be the game designer to make a Balatro, but horror. Hey, editing Andrew here. I just noticed I keep on saying Balatro instead of Balatro. I didn't notice it while I was recording the video, but I think I have some sort of dyslexia. I'm gonna be saying Balatro for the rest of the video, but just know it's Balatro. Anyway, sorry about that and enjoy the video. Bye. I love Balatro. I've spent countless of hours playing it, but let me get you in some secret. I actually hate horror games. Horror games scare the heck out of me. Ever since I watched Grudge since I was 12, I've never looked at the mirror again. So how do I go about making this game? How do I turn a fast-paced, power frenzy, poker roguelike into a horror game? What is horror, truly? Fear without ghost. There's a research paper by Andrew Wedgebury that talks about the term Hauntology, which is drawn from Derrida's Spectres of Marx in 1994. It goes in depth about the concept of presence through absence. Ironically, the book doesn't cover the ghosts as we'd imagine them from pop cultures, but interestingly, it points out that ghosts do not need to be materialized to be real. Now, in this paradigm of games, we can see that the appearance of existence itself is actually optional, and well, in some cases, even unnecessary. Derrida's spectre neither present or absent, neither dead or alive, becomes a powerful metaphor for atmosphering ambiguity. And I think for a game designer's perspective, in order to create true horror, this means that we need to embed systems that hint more than they reveal. My hypothesis is that horror moments and spaces in games are actually populated by spaces of opportunity, and the players will do the rest themselves. These subtle absences can create the feeling of dread, just like any other horrifying elements in games. Like the absence of the game title for my boat game, for example. Oh, you haven't heard? I'm actually currently working on a boat game. Yeah, it's kind of cute. It has no name yet, but it's on my YouTube channel and you should subscribe. Chapter 2. Silently Existing. When I think of psychological horror, I think of Silent Hill. What fascinates me in Silent Hill is how little the game shows you. Monsters, these gruesome avatars, don't even need to appear to destabilize my mental state. Just the possibility of them silently existing is enough. The developers mastered something known as negative capability by John Keats in 80s-70s. And it's the ability to dwell in uncertainties, mysteries, and doubts without the need to resolve them. And Silent Hill beautifully creates these tensions, not through scripted events, but from the tensions between what is and what it might be. We all fear in life what is possible, not what already is planned. Fear is the meaning of possibility. Chapter 3. Vulnerability. Now, let's rewind back a bit. I tried a few horror games, and apart from narrative and atmosphere, I see a lot of games that use mechanics to exploit vulnerabilities from the way they play. I find that terrifyingly challenging if I want to make a game like Balatro and make it horror. Because, in contrast, Balatro doesn't make the player feel vulnerable. In fact, it's quite the opposite. The feeling of being overpowered and strong and unstoppable is what I felt from playing Balatro. I'm worried that these two fundamental designs are clashing, and we will need to find a way to integrate both of these feelings in the same time. How will we do that? In horror games like Outlast, you always feel like you have limited resources. You can always run or hide from the enemies. The protagonist is a journalist that cannot fight back. Vulnerability doesn't necessarily generate fear, but it amplifies them through the feeling of helplessness. If I want to make Balatro horrifying, I feel that this is a key point that I have to take into account to make sure that just maybe we will be able to make this game touch both qualities without them interfering with one another. Chapter 4: Hesitation and Potential. The more I dug deep into the world of horror games, the more it becomes clear to me how profound the feelings of haunting actually emerges from ambiguity and unresolved things. These games harbor possibility without confirmation, and so fear is not a reaction, it is a state of mind. Players are not observers, but they are active participants in the construction of this experimental logic that was formed from ambiguity and potentiality. From these studies, I think we can proceed and start writing down some ideas for the game we want to make. I came up with dozens of ideas, but one stuck with me. What if we made a dungeon escape game with Balatro like poker? What if we incorporate the feeling of being chased with the feeling of meeting the quota? What if we split the features in two, where one side we can feel overpowered from player's choice in deck building, multiplying effects, and we integrate that in a limited resource where there are dungeon crawling mechanics. This way, both overpowered feeling and scarcity can coexist together without the need to diminish one to another's feelings. I took inspiration, and by inspiration I mean I fully ripped it off from Darkest Dungeon 1, by the way a great game. It's the map navigation system, and it looks really simple and that it would fit into what I had imagined for this game. And here is the synopsis. You play as Mike. He's a nobody, and one day he made a pact with a devil and became a god at playing poker. He lived like a king, and then he died. His debt is now due. He begged the devil for one more chance, and the devil agreed.
Fine, you may escape if you win at my table.
But hell is not a table, it's a maze, and there's always something behind you, a reflection of yours, a jester. You cannot kill it, you can only run, and you must outrun the jester and manage your sanity in this dark dungeon escape poker game. From design aspect, I've essentially split the gameplay in two sections: exploration phase where you dungeon crawl, and poker phase where you play solitaire. There's a monster AI that should spawn behind you after a few steps, and if he catches you, you die. There's also a sanity meter that you have to keep afloat, and if it gets to 0, you also die. You keep it afloat by burning your sanity coins, which you get from winning bids. But here's the twist: your cards in your deck, your joker cards, which by the way are called blasphemies here, changes and gives intel to your surroundings. So the deck building not only affects your cards as you play to meet your bids, but they also help you while you're exploring. I wrote down some examples and also provided some handmade level logics, since I doubt we will have any time for proc gen. I've left some handy notes, sorted everything, added the core pillars, mechanics, logics, flowcharts, etc. Anything that I think could be helpful to the team, and that's it. Thank you so much blackthornprod brothers and Thijs for inviting me. There are many components to making a game, and I'm excited to see how some people would tackle some of the mechanics that I wrote. But that's all for me. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this little detour as we embarked into the world of horror. I'm gonna get back into making my boat game on the clouds. That's also bullet hell. That doesn't have a name, and yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.